Welcome to the Tom Bernard Show in the family with
co-host Catherine Brandt,
Alex Bernard Rasmussen,
Andy Brandt Bernard,
and Kristen Burt.
Kristen
bacon.
here. A couple of kids, too, having fun. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Burt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. What is going on, Kristen Burt?
Nothing's happening in Los Angeles.
nothing at all.
Nothing at all? You sure?
Yeah, my question is, okay, so there's all of this, information going on out there. And some news outlets seem to be minimizing it, saying that it's confined to a very tiny little area. And some places are showing police, being held captive under a bridge and people throwing bricks at them. And so what's actually happening, maybe? Do you know?
Yes, it is confined to a very small area. That is true. I think two things can coexist. It is confined to a very small area of Los Angeles. And anyone who's visited Los Angeles knows that it's basically a sprawling suburb. It's not a city in the way you see
Right.
Chicago or New York City. And it really is this tiny little circle. People don't normally go downtown all of that much unless you're going to the Staples Center, which is now the crypto center. But for a game, there's a convention center down there. But it's a limited number of people that live and work down there. It's not like a financial center down in New York City. So that is where it is contained. All of the other areas of Los Angeles, nothing's really happening. So I think some media outlets are throwing themselves into the action so that all of a sudden they're getting tear gassed, which I think is a little bit of news theatrics.
Yes, I would say
and
that's
then
true.
I also think that there are several factors. You've got, the LAPD, you've got National Guard, you've got peaceful protesters, and then you have what our LAPD chief, Jim McDonald, called outside agitators who are just there to stir up a riot.
They
So
always
the
are.
protest is different from the riot. Exactly. So you got a little bit of everything kind of going on in the situation, with some people taking advantage of what should be just a peaceful protest.
So it does sound like this is orchestrated at some level.
Yeah. They
On some
usually
level,
are.
I think there's a small factor of that, and they're the ones doing some of the graffiti that you're seeing. Some of the Waymo cars were set on fire, stuff like that. Nobody should be, touching any of our LAPD or National Guard. They have no funding right now.
Mm-hmm.
They should be federally funded. They're sleeping on a floor. They're sleeping underground. They have no food, no water.
That's interesting because I saw a bunch of videos about that too, and they said that was back from the January 11th footage. So I don't know what's true. Once again, who knows
LA
what's
Times
true?
is reporting that they are
Okay.
don't have official housing because the federal funding hasn't come in, and because they were sent in federally, they need the federal funding. So I hope that
Well, they
our
came
military-
in because your police chief said that they were overwhelmed, right?
right.
Right. Okay.
So how is it that they're not funded? I don't understand that.
I don't know.
The government hasn't sent in the funding. That's
Yeah,
all
but
it
where'd
is.
the money go?
I would love to know that. Maybe it's going to our military parade on Saturday.
Or to feed people that don't want to get off their... Oh, I can't even say this to me.
Those are two. Everything is budgeted. Every branch of the government is budgeted from the year before. So if they've already used it all up for whatever, then there is no more money. They don't borrow from it. They don't just, they can't just throw money at it.
Right.
It all has to be through a budget and a committee, and somebody has to release funds. It's not something that you can just, write a check. Although, I don't know, Biden seemed to be able to do that. Maybe you can.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
you
think
can.
the point is, though, there's 6 things going on at once. It's not just
No. Yeah.
pushing back against ICE. But I will say that LA is a community filled with many immigrants. I think that collectively, both parties agree that the border needed to be tightened. I think everyone was kind of fine with sending criminals who are undocumented immigrants back to, their country. But I do think that for a lot of people, a lot of the undocumented immigrants who have been paying taxes and contributing to our area. I think people want to find a resolution that is better than this.
Yeah, they did just, the White House did just issue, or Homeland Security issued a statement yesterday saying that if you are undocumented, that they were going to support them leaving, and they were going to give them $1,000, and they were going to be able to fast track back in if they self-deported and didn't have a criminal record. And I think that's really smart, because people should become Americans if they're going to live here for 30, 40 years.
Right. And
yeah.
they've got houses and families,
Yeah.
and they're entrenched in our community. And
Yeah, if they're contributing, I don't have any problem with anybody, but they need.
none of us do.
Yeah.
And I think that collectively is for most people, I think that's a nonpartisan issue. Like, hey, let's figure out a better way with this immigration reform.
Yeah, but we saw that in Minneapolis a couple of weeks ago. There was a police presence in Minneapolis, and they were going after weapons, and they were going after trafficking people. And of course, there was a little tweet out by somebody saying that they were in there to just sweep people off the street and disappear
that's
them.
always the rumor.
So they went
Yep.
insane, and they started pushing back and all this kind of stuff, and it wasn't even an ICE operation. And my understanding is that that's what started this in LA, is it wasn't actually even what they were saying it was. And Homeland Security is tweeting out all of the people that they're deporting and catching, and they are a lot of really awful criminal people have done terrible things and have been deported sometimes 3 to 4 times and still come back in.
The initial LA operation, just to clarify all of this, was done at a garment factory. The employers were taking advantage of undocumented
Right.
immigrants in terms
Yep.
of their labor.
Yep.
And there are allegations, they haven't confirmed them because it's an ongoing investigation, that there was tax evasion and other financial things that the owner of the garment factory. However, ICE took advantage of that situation and also came in and started. And so, it's just a multi-layered situation
Well, it's such
going
a
on.
mess. I mean, we just shouldn't have let any fool into this country. That's what people are upset about. And unfortunately, there's a lot of fallout from that for everybody else.
The amazing thing to me is was that woman from Minnesota that literally took the mic and said that she's an illegal alien and so is her mother.
Yeah, I think
But
she's a
been
representative of Duluth or something.
She's been elected to office. You can't be an illegal alien and then be elected to office. What are you doing?
And according to
Undocumented immigrant.
And according to Minnesota
Well,
law, she's
illegal.
not even allowed to vote. And here she is a
Yeah,
rep.
she's not allowed to vote, but she got elected to office. How is this happening? I mean, is there anybody watching the clock at all? Is anybody?
The local office has a lot fewer restrictions on who can run. I know there's been at least a couple cats who have won
Cats?
local. Yes. So
There
My
you
cat
go.
would make a great representative. I just want you to know.
There
Which
you have
one?
it.
Linus would love to serve in office.
I was going to say which cat.
I just,
let's see, pets who have run for political office. There was Stubbs the cat, who was the mayor of a town in Alaska for 20 years.
There's like 60 people living there, I think.
I love that.
I'm pretty sure my cat would do better than most politicians.
Oh, yeah.
so.
Talkeetna, Alaska has a population of 1,000.
1,000. There you go.
Yep. Stubbs the cat, mayor of Alaska, mayor of an Alaskan town for 20 years.
I love that.
Bravo.
It's all true.
6 cats and dogs have been nominated and sworn into office.
God.
That's amazing.
All a
Sweet
joke,
Tart
isn't it?
in Almena, Michigan,
Oh,
was elected mayor in July 2018.
Sweet tart.
So there you go. There's Stubbs. They're on here.
And by the way, Kristen, I didn't say she was an illegal alien. She said she
yes.
was.
She stood up and said it
Huh.
proudly.
She actually said it herself. That's why I was just repeating what she said. So stop barking at me, sister.
I just pointed at you. That's all I
Big
did.
baby.
I said undocumented immigrant.
Oh, guess what? We've got one.
We do.
Cormorant, Minnesota. A
Yep.
Great Pyrenees named Duke was elected mayor 4 times.
I've always said dogs for president. I've always said
A duke in an election. I
I was
love
gonna
it.
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
Always
exactly.
said dogs would
Where's
make better
Cormorant?
politicians than
I don't know
most
where that
people.
is.
What is a
Cormorant,
cormorant?
Minnesota.
I
Let's
don't
see.
like
know.
12
Never
people
heard
live
of
there.
it.
There's
That is
a cormorant's a bird, isn't it?
I believe
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Far, far away.
Far away.
It's kind of on the way to Fargo, actually.
Oh, yeah,
On
okay.
Highway 10, not 90. Well,
Oh.
kind of
Oh.
94.
Yep.
So,
Okay. On
you
the
know.
way up north, as they
I thought
say.
I'd been there
Unfortunately, Duke died in 2019. So
Oh,
we can't go
rest his
visit
soul.
him. Well, Great Pyrenees do not live a long time. I know
They're
that
big,
much.
big,
No.
big dogs.
Yes, they are.
before. They are indeed. Okay, before we take a break, Kristen Burt's with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you read the liner?
Yes.
Yes, I read the one.
I'm sorry, I just
really?
was checking. Just
really?
checking.
Is this how it's going to be now? Tom, let me do your job for you.
Well, sometimes it doesn't happen.
I suppose that's true. I just want you to know that I'm deeply destroyed now because
Deeply destroyed.
I am
wow.
deeply destroyed.
That's pretty,
That's as deep as it gets.
pretty intense.
I read an article this morning about a man who is 2 months older than me. He was born in September of 51, and I was born in November of 51. And I don't really like being compared to this guy because he owns the Philadelphia Eagles, who've won 2 Super Bowls. He's won 3 Academy Awards. He just gave the Autism Center $50 million. He's 2 months older than me, and I got nothing, and he's got it all.
Okay, you don't got nothing. Are you kidding?
You
Who is
are
this
doing
person?
fine, Tom.
At all.
Wow.
You talk about achievement, though. My goodness.
Well, some people are like that. They
But
just
nice for
don't
him to
stop.
be giving
Yes.
such a generous donation.
No
That's
question.
Yes,
great.
very
Yes.
nice.
I mean,
Some of the very wealthy do not give away their money at all. So
oh, you got that right. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about that. But I looked at the man, and he just, first of all, I should say he looks a lot older than me, just not just 2 months.
Oh,
I'd like to point
catty.
that out. I got to get catty
nice
about
catty.
it because he's worth $5.5 billion. And I don't know
Wow.
how he made his money in the first place, but he owns the Philadelphia Eagles. He owns
What's his
a
name?
bunch of stuff. I
who
don't
owns
know.
the
The owner of the
Philadelphia-
Philadelphia
That
Eagles.
should be
You could
easy
look
to
it up.
Jeffrey Lurie.
Jeffrey Lurie.
does he
that's
own a
Jeff
car
Lurie.
dealership? Because a lot of people start with their car dealership and make their fortune.
That is true. You're right.
And then they wind up in sports.
Let's see, $5.3 billion net worth. So
$5.3 billion.
He's got money.
Just from a car
His
dealership?
grandfather founded the General Cinema movie theater chain.
Oh, so he didn't earn it. Now I feel better.
At one time,
He
that
didn't
would have
earn it
been
all.
very good.
Huge back in the day.
Yeah, his uncle was the CEO of said chain.
yeah.
He was born into billions of dollars.
Oh, well, that also might have been real estate wealth, not
Yes.
just
Oh,
because,
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, this,
if they purchased the land under the
under the
theater
theaters,
is what
yeah.
I'm saying.
General Cinema operated 1,500 screens at
Oh
its
my
peak.
God.
Yeah.
Lasted 67 years.
Oh wow.
Uh,
67 years.
Yeah, it was founded in 1935, which
Oh yeah.
were there movies
Oh, yeah.
showing in
Movies were
1935?
Oh,
a
yeah,
big
absolutely.
deal.
Yep.
Well, I know there was I know there were movies that were shown, but were there enough to justify having a corporation revolving around them? I guess there were because
Yeah,
Yeah, apparently.
they made quite a bit of money.
Well, going to the movies used to be a very big deal.
People used to go to silent movies.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
The
did.
first
They-
Oscars were in 1920.
Yeah.
27, 28
you
was
go.
the first
Yeah,
year
people
that they
used-
honored.
Would that have been pre-code?
Code.
Pre-code, the pre-code era of Hollywood, the Hays Code. There was a lot of very interesting stuff that came up before the Hays Code, which was basically like the first set of rules for what you can put in a movie.
Oh.
Before that, it was literally anything goes as long as it didn't break the law. So, Hays Code was 1934. So yeah, they started their chain right as the Hays Code came out, which was when Hollywood really started to explode.
It
so
blew up, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, people used to get all dressed up and wear suits and everything
Absolutely
to go
they
to the
did.
movies. It
Yeah,
was a
they did.
big deal.
Date night.
Yeah. it
Yeah,
was.
now it's
Right.
now if someone's not wearing their pajamas, it's considered to be dressed up at a
That
movie.
is true.
So
I bring a
absolutely
granny blanket because it's so cold in the theaters.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
my
like all
kids,
bundled up.
my kids bring
sense.
squishmallows and blankets and all sorts of things.
Well, now that we have those wonderful reclining chairs, it's
Okay, to move into
nice.
break, let me just say this. I feel much better now knowing that he inherited all that wealth. And I'll have you know, my father retired at 45 years old. Well, he didn't retire. He just
Retired.
quit working when he was 45 years old.
retiring is
retirement.
That's a different thing than retiring. My father quit working
he
at
went-
45.
Yeah, he went deadbeat at 40.
He was a deadbeat at
That's my
45
plan.
years
you
old.
inherited a lot of
7
different
years to
things
go.
from him.
You
but
inherited
not
debt.
wealth.
We certainly
Not
did.
You
well.
inherited a lot of debt.
Yeah, he got cinemas, I got schizophrenia.
Yeah.
It's a
No.
They're both
Different
really
world.
good combo.
Congratulations.
They both start with an S sound. So, I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
Always looking at the bright side. I like that, Andy.
$5.3 billion, and he's 2 months older than me.
Well,
it's not fair.
we just heard a tale of a mutual friend of ours.
Tale.
A tale.
I'll tell you.
He is so wealthy that
how wealthy is he?
he was offered a position on one of his companies for $250 million a year, and he said, it's not worth it.
2 million was not worth it. I'll take it.
$250 million a year wasn't worth it.
That's pretty sick.
Just to sit on a board.
I can sit
What?
on board.
I was gonna say, I'll sit for him.
I'm here for you
I was
anytime.
like,
Yeah.
I got it. I'll say a bunch of nonsense. They'll love it.
I will agree with everything you
We
say.
have to synergize the paradigms,
I'll be like,
people.
business.
Yep.
Whatever you guys, I'll vote.
I will
Whichever way you
vote.
want me to.
Yeah.
Just do what every businessman does nowadays. Just say, we got to integrate AI into this new product.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly
How are
right.
we going to
Yes.
integrate AI? Oh, we're a brick manufacturer? Doesn't matter. Just put AI in the bricks.
All right, we do need to take a break because Kristen needs to be out of here in 10 more minutes. We got to get her on her schedule. We'll be right back right after this. From Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. What's up, Pally?
Oh, not much. Doing my usual thing of telling people they shouldn't be texting and driving. In Minnesota, you can't have your phone in your hands. You can use, hands-free, but you can't have your phone in your hands for whatever reason. And that's why they made the law the way they did, so that police officers could see a phone in your hand and you got no excuse for why you got it there.
Do people know that that's the law?
I hope so. I mean, they used to follow it, and then kind of COVID kind of made people forget. And now it's like a freewheeling world out there with cell phones.
Let's say you get pulled over because you do have a phone in your hand and you're not watching where you're going. You got to be in pretty big trouble then, I would guess.
Well, the first one's not as bad. It's the multiple ones, the problem. And once people start stacking them up, then they have a big problem. And then what we're doing in car accidents is we've started bringing motions for punitive damages because I'm trying to use the civil law any way we can to stop this because it needs to stop.
Whenever I'd had any problems in my life, who was that I called again? It was like an MB, something like that.
Bradshaw and Bryant.
Let's talk about Jax, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we got the Okay, I'm doing a commercial. We have to be quiet. Thank you very much. We're back. Let's talk about Jax because we talk about the giveaways every week, and everybody just loves the whole idea. And I don't know. We like having fun with our advertisers. Jack's family owned since 1933, an original Minneapolis steakhouse, a place to celebrate and create memories for over 90 years, just minutes from Target Field for a pre- or post-game meal. Perfect prime ribs, serving steaks, chops, and fresh seafood. You can even net your own trout from Jack's Garden Stream and have it prepared for you minutes later. You can enjoy happy hour in the bar and on award-winning patio on Wednesday through Sunday. Private party rooms from 25 to 275, perfect for weddings. Groom's dinner, business dinners are all celebrations. Weekend brunch, Saturday and Sunday, too. Jack's, the godfather of Northeast. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. We're back. I think we're back.
We're back.
We are. I'm just,
Here we are.
there we go.
There we are.
Thank you. There. Now we can see.
I'm doing a lot of stuff at once right now.
I understand. So what else is happening? Oh, my God. Your segment always goes by too quickly.
So fast. There's so much to talk about at the start
Yeah,
of the
there
day.
sure is right now.
I suppose that's what it is. Have you ever turned down a $250 million a year job?
Yes.
Yes.
I was like, my
Twice.
family is simply too important to me. Sorry.
I'm all in.
There you
Yeah, like I said, I'll be your yes man.
go. Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
that's nice.
Well, for real, though.
For real.
Work 1 year and retire. There you go.
Yeah.
You are now set for life, and you can do whatever you want.
Yes.
That'll do it.
Travel.
What else is happening, Kristen?
Well, we lost Sly Stone yesterday. And a lot of people don't know
Wait,
who
what?
Sly Stone is, and they
died?
thought Sylvester Stallone died.
He
He
did?
did?
Sly Stone died.
Oh,
not
not Sylvester
And
Stallone.
people don't know the difference between
I
the
don't.
two.
It sounded like you
And-
said Sylvester Stallone died, and I was like,
No.
Oh, no, she said people
People
thought.
think.
oh, okay.
Yes. So Sly Stone died at 82 from COPD.
Not,
Not
Sylvester
Who is
Stallone.
Sly
Not
Stallone?
Sylvester-
Stone. Sly Stone.
Oh, the
Sly and the
Family
Family
Stone. Sly and the
Stone.
Yes,
Family
Sly
Stone.
and the
Oh.
Family
Yes.
Stone. Yes.
But the family did not die. Sly Stone died.
There we go.
Who's on first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
Well, I can't imagine Alex going to the Breakers in
Not seeing
Florida and not seeing Sylvester
my buddy
Stallone.
Sylvester.
Your good friend.
He's
my
always
close
sitting
person.
there.
Sylvester Stallone is alive and well. Tulsa Kings is going on. He's in Oklahoma filming. We are all good.
All is well.
I won't take you
I mean,
higher.
Sylvester
Great song.
Stallone is 78, and he is an actor. So God knows what he's put in his body over the years.
That's
So I mean,
true.
I wouldn't be terribly surprised, honestly.
No.
I suppose that's probably true.
How many
unfortunately.
actors are straight edge? Like 0?
Like, don't drink, don't. No, there's. I feel like there's a small percentage. 5%, 10%.
Yeah, there can't be
But you know,
too
there's
many.
there's such blurry lines because it's like I even think of like watching Mormon. And this is a reality show, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't drink and we don't smoke, and then they're doing ketamine.
Yeah.
And they're doing
Yeah, and it's like,
Well,
well,
they're
doing
not lying.
they don't drink coffee, but they do that.
2 pounds of sugar for breakfast because they do the dirty sodas. It's like it's so strange to me. Or they're like, I won't get vaccinated, but I will do all the Botox and filler in the world.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't
Yes.
make any
Right.
sense.
I mean,
No.
it's really make it make sense. So I think that you'll find a lot of actors too. They'll be like, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. But if they need to do and pump up for a movie, they are all over those like steroid type of drugs to bulk up for the film.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
That's all I have to say.
That
These
sounds
wonderful.
I don't
eggs.
really believe many people when they're like, I don't do anything. Because everyone has like some sort of weird vice. I don't drink a lot, but I'll tell you, like, if you're going to give me like a Coca-Cola and put it in front of me and like you have this every day for a month, like a Coke machine from McDonald's, I would totally imbibe in that. I love
There
it.
you go. Yep. I'm right there
Why
with
not?
it. Actually, for me, it's cherry diet Pepsi.
Yes, yes, it is.
Mine is pastries.
Love it.
Pastries.
I love pastries. I would eat 4 pastries a day if it were up to
I
me.
do love a pastry.
No, I'm going to have a pastry later, actually. We'll Fonza Ballet. I'm going to walk over to a cafe and have
Uh-oh.
a pastry.
I know. Who is that guy from Shark Tank, the older guy, the
Oh, the
Mr.
bald guy?
Mwonderful?
Mr. Wonderful? He
Kevin O'Leary.
For some reason, one of his little videos popped up on my feed, and he's like, he's sitting at a pastry place, and he's like, so I've lost all this weight, and I'm standing. Normally, I would have had 6 of these pastries, but am I eating sugar anymore? No, I am not. So why is he doing all of this health stuff? Do
He
you
makes a
know?
lot of
Is
money.
he? Is he promoting Ozempic?
Yeah, I
I
would
don't
say
know.
it's probably an
Is
Ozempic
he?
promotion. That's what I was going to say.
GLP-1. And that's the other thing.
no.
I don't know why people are lying if they're on a GLP-1. Like all of a sudden you see them one month and you see them the next month and they've dropped 40 pounds and you're
Right.
like, whoa. They look gone and they're like, oh, I just did it with intermittent fasting. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on.
I've been hiking on the
Yeah.
weekends. It's like, okay.
I just saw somebody that she had lost a lot of weight and she used that, and it's pretty much a miracle for some
It was just
people.
my Pilates.
Yes.
That's all it was.
I just have celery juice for breakfast.
Yeah.
I know like Megan Trainor, the singer, just went on one, and that caused like a big uproar because all of her music is all about like body positivity and like,
Well, you can have body positivity and still want to lose weight. It's
Well,
like,
but she was never like dangerously overweight or anything. Like she had curves, but that's not.
Well, some
like-
people can't even go that high. Like if I go above like 180 pounds, I start getting fatty liver.
Well, you
They don't
are
know why.
1,000 years old,
Yeah, I sure am.
so
Always
that's
have been.
different.
But for some people, it's just like you have to stay pretty thin, or else like just bad stuff starts happening. No one really knows why.
No.
And then some people can be 300 pounds their whole lives and live to be 80.
and feel just
Yeah,
great.
Yep.
no, it's-
Yeah.
I don't know if they feel great, but
Well, relatively great, you know.
I don't know. If you could eat just like a bag of chips and just like not worry about it. It sounds
There
great.
you have it. I know you only got about a minute and a half left, so I have to ask you: is it true? Because I was always told that's Sly and the Family Stone.
Don't say
Sylvester.
Sylvester.
Sly and the Family Stone was the name of his group.
But the family's alive.
family
The
as
Family's
well.
Alive. But I was always told that he was a disc jockey in San Francisco when he started that group.
Oh,
Do you know if
could be.
that's true or
Find out.
not?
Yeah, I believe he was a DJ. I
He was a
think.
disc jockey in San Francisco, I think. And then he became the huge star. That band had made a lot of dough.
Yeah,
they toured
'cause I
forever.
believe he was at Woodstock too.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, I
that's
bet.
right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you got, Andy? Anything?
KSOL.
KSOL. Is that
Can
was
you
that-
guess what?
K-Soul.
Can you guess what K-Soul was playing?
Soul
back then?
music.
Yes.
He probably
I'm a
was a great
soul
DJ too.
man.
If he was creating such great music, he probably was a great DJ too.
Oh, I think-
And
However-
if you take a look at him, you can tell he would be a great DJ.
K-Soul is now Spanish language radio.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's all a radio.
Well, soul
man.
is a Spanish word. It means sun. So
Yep.
there you go. Although their
Yeah.
icon is a hawk.
Was that in San Francisco?
in
K
Spain.
K-Soul?
Yes, San Francisco Bay Area.
So that
Look
was
at
not a
your
lie. he
brain
was.
cells working.
No, look at that.
Brain cells
Look
kicking in.
at your
all
brain
these years
cells
later.
working.
Look at that.
I was live Sly and Family Stone were one of my favorite groups when I was a kid because I was a young teen when they first
Oh, yeah,
broke.
they
I
were
remember.
big.
Dance to the music.
Oh, yeah.
Great
Great music.
Wonderful. No
Like
question
every
about
And
it.
it
finale.
holds up to this day. Like you listen to that, if you put that on at a wedding, people would be out on the dance floor in a
Yep.
heartbeat.
Yep, that is
right.
true. All right,
That's
you got,
good music.
Oh, oh my God! I was going to say you have 30 more seconds, but now you don't.
I don't either.
And you're that's right.
You're
You're leaving
leaving
too.
too?
Yeah,
I have to
she's
bring-
gotta-
all week.
She's got to bring ballerinas.
Gotta go to
with
dance camp.
ballet.
I have an extra ballerina today. I have to
Yeah.
bring them both to ballet intensive.
Ballerina girl.
Fawn
you
said
go.
it's hard.
It
She
is.
said she
I'm
loves
sure.
it because they're strict and it's hard. And I'm like, all right.
Oh, okay.
Fawn's kind of a drill sergeant, though.
was gonna
this
say,
is
That's me.
surprising.
You should.
I
Uh,
love that kind of
Yes.
strict dance.
You should go
teacher.
to
I
a
love it.
British orphanage in the 19th century. Love it.
Yep, it's true.
Could be a marm.
All righty. Well, we will talk to you tomorrow, Kristen Bird and Alex Brandt.
See you all
Alex
then.
Or Alex,
Brandt.
Alex
Rasmussen.
Rasmussen.
Well,
Who are you?
Whatever.
That's how I've always known you. so
That's
what
like
do you
every
know?
time you
Yeah,
order a
it's just
pizza
like-
and you're like, you want pepperoni? I'm like, I only haven't eaten meat since I was 9, but
Yeah, I got
Pepperoni's
other
not
things
Rock
to
on
do.
with your pepperoni.
I got other
Change
things
your
to
mind.
focus on. Leave me alone.
Pepperoni's not meat.
Kristen, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See you tomorrow, Alex.
bye.
Kristen Bird Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Safe.
We'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Chris Eggert will join us right after this. Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Brian Thiel, president of Abrasives of St. Paul.
What I like best about North American Baking Company is the small town feel with great products and very good service, and I love the people. I would definitely recommend North American to other business owners. A lot of banks I could choose from, and North American Banking Company is the one.
So why not bank where I bank? With my friends at North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. That's nabankco.com, or stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. South Dakota, one of the most business-friendly states in the country, and there's no better place to settle down and take advantage of those incentives than in Sioux Falls. As the state's largest city with a metro population over 290,000, Sioux Falls has low business costs with a high quality of life. There's no state, corporate, or personal income tax, no inheritance tax, and no limits to what your business can achieve. So South Dakota, I mean, well, first of all, Catherine, I know I say this every time, but I just looked up again at that video of that beautiful river. It's unbelievable. Sorry. I know I say that every day, but it's true. Tax friendliness, hardest working, health care, doctors, most popular to move to. It is indeed. Catherine and I have talked about this. If we ever moved out of Minnesota, but to a state closer, I'm sure we would move to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It is gorgeous. Wouldn't you agree?
A lot of people have.
Yeah,
we
they
were.
have.
Yeah, we've lost a lot of
about it.
Are you still thinking about that?
Many Minnesotans
Yeah.
have moved to South Dakota.
Yeah, they have. No question about it. Here's the deal. Listed the 50 best places to live for families, the fastest growing Midwest metro, one of the best places to raise a family, one of the best small cities for Gen Z workers, national 4th top inbound city people move to. How does South Dakota stack up against other states? Well, they rank 2nd in the nation for the lowest cost of doing business, the most business-friendly state, and the best business tax climate. And as South Dakota's biggest city, Sioux Falls is at the center of these benefits. Visit www.siouxfallsdevelopment.com. Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. Michael, what's up?
Dealing with another case where a person gave a statement to the adjuster because they thought the person was really friendly.
Is that a good idea?
Well, the problem is they know the law when they call you up. And while you're trying to be fair and you're trying to get help, the reality is there are questions you get asked that the way you answer them make a big difference. And people put themselves in trouble. And when they aren't in trouble, they didn't do anything wrong. But suddenly the adjuster's got a statement that can blow up their case completely.
What has caused people to be so untrustworthy, I guess is the best way I could put it? They take advantage.
Well, insurance companies have hired adjusters whose job it is to deal with unrepresented people. So they're supposed to kind of lure them in, call them every day, see how they're doing, and people are like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Where the reality is they've kind of adjusted to their problem that they've got going on. So it's not that they're completely better, but the way they say it gets to be a problem. And that's why having somebody who can explain your rights, represent you, make sure that you understand the law before you give a statement can make a big difference in your case.
Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Channel 5's Chris Eggert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. Chris, we're getting lucky today. Yesterday, we tried to go to remote to talk to Bob Sansevier. The whole thing, why did it keep falling apart?
I got a text message early this morning saying that we would probably have, or there were outages and that they resolved something.
Yeah, internet's been messed up lately.
Yeah, it has.
What's wrong with the internet, Chris? What's that all about?
Is it people on Xfinity? Do you know?
I mean, we are. I don't know if Bob is.
We're getting some reports of the TV station of something going on with Xfinity too, where our signals are freezing up in certain places.
Yes,
So,
Yep.
exactly.
Everything was goofy yesterday.
yeah,
Yeah.
How was that possible?
That tracks.
Yeah.
I want to know how that's possible, that everything freezes up after we've spent
Well,
trillions of dollars on it.
It's technology. It's going to glitch.
It is
guess.
technology.
Or they might be running an update, and that makes everything glitch. You know how when your iPhone updates and they turn off all kinds of stuff and turn on all kinds of stuff, and your phone just isn't
They
right?
do that.
Yes.
Channel 5's Chris Eggert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. What's in the news this morning, Chris?
Well, the Minnesota State Legislature got their budget passed last night. So that
Whoa.
was that. Happened about 2:00 in the morning. Tears were shed. There was yelling.
Lots of drama.
As it always seems to go in the very end, but they did pass something. So we know they passed something, but like most of the details of it aren't out yet. So I guess we'll kind of find out. That'll be what the important next step is, to see what's getting paid for now and these kinds of things. But the big thing that was the big sticking point where the tears were shed last night was whether or not the state should continue using Minnesota Care, which is the state-run health insurance program, whether illegal immigrants should get that.
Well,
and it was decided that they should not, but kids can. So that's the stipulation.
Yeah. And a lot of people are like, well, that's not going to make any difference because most people just go to the ER and then they just don't pay their bill.
Well,
so
that's
it's
true.
not
That
going
does
to really
happen.
make any difference to them.
That is true. I mean, isn't it amazing how much things cost now because of that?
It's sickening.
I mean, the price of everything is. Catherine and I were shocked a short time ago. We had 12 people at dinner?
Yeah.
12 people at dinner, and the bill was only $450. And we were shocked it was that low. I mean, what is going on?
And that was at Culver's.
Yeah, it was
Well,
at Culver's. Exactly.
Andy's family of four, his health insurance
Yeah.
premium is $2,400 a month.
Yeah, 30 grand a year.
It's disgusting.
30 grand a year. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Insurance is so bad, and I feel like when I was a kid, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, it was like a couple $100. I mean, it was nothing. And you know what else? On that same note, Catherine, we had a reporter on the Twin Cities Business, which used to be Twin Cities Business Journal, yesterday on the show, and he was talking about all the commercial real estate in the Twin Cities and how many of these buildings are vacant. And that in itself is one thing, but he really connected the dots well, because he explained if those buildings are vacant and their values go down, then the county can't tax them as much as they would have been able to in the past. And ultimately, then the county's going to need more money, and that's going to come from homeowners. So that's why your homeowners, your taxable values are going way up. And I've heard all kinds of people talking about that. So,
Yep, St. Paul's got the same problem.
yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's a complex in downtown Wayzata, which, everybody thinks that's a flourishing, very rich town, which I guess it is, but there's a huge complex that Presbyterian Homes put up, and they have something called Folkstone, which is like memory care, assisted living, independent living, all of this stuff. And then they've got a bunch of commercial space on the bottom floor, and much space has been empty for years. That's also a little bit of a scam because there was some law passed where developers and owners of commercial real estate can write off empty space against all kinds of other profits. And so it's like, okay, we don't really need to fill these, like apartment buildings. If they've got empty space, it's actually beneficial tax-wise. But once again, that's all reflected in how many units are there available. I mean, people think there's a housing shortage. Not necessarily. They can keep their rents way sky high and have empty units and not have to deal with people.
Interesting.
Everything's a scam.
Well, you're right about that.
Everything's a scam.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
And that was our big local story this morning. And obviously we're continuing to watch the situation that's going on out in LA right now and sort of what happens with that today. I think I just saw a figure drop about 3 minutes ago on the Associated Press talking about how much money the United States is spending to send. I can't find it right now because, of course, I'm looking right for it. How much money the government's spending to send the National Guard troops out to California. And of course, that's a big kerfuffle for 9,000 million reasons, but mainly because it's California and,
Yeah, well, they're predicting that all of this is going to spread to other metropolitan cities, and Minneapolis is definitely on the list for the orchestrated problems. So I don't know. Have you heard anything about that?
Yes, we reported that it's gone to several different cities, but we haven't seen it yet happening here. Mm-hmm. And I suppose I won't say if it happens, but when, I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Well, you saw that thing that went down last week, or was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
That was like not even really a thing, and it turned into a thing because so many people came out immediately and were confronting those agents and the police officers. And so it seems to me that there are a certain amount of people who are sort of just waiting for the opportunity to have something go down so they can run out there and, do their thing.
They're highly organized and they are highly funded.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that we'll see. Well, listen, say what you will. I think we saw what happens here when the National Guard isn't called in right away.
Right.
I
that
think we
could
did.
have been better.
I think we did. Yeah, in LA, they were passing out biohazard masks, which are like $60 a piece. They had a truckload of them, and they were just handing them out like candy. I don't know if that means they're planning something or if they're just getting sick of being
Handing
sprayed
out to
with
who?
Protesters, or rioters, I should say. And I don't know if that's just
I think they're pretty well funded in some
they're
situations.
very well funded. So it's not organic.
No.
I just don't understand why people cannot just live shoulder to. I'm going through a situation right now. Chris, I don't know, you probably don't know me well enough to understand this, but Catherine and I help people out all the time, if they need this, that, whatever. And I've been doing that my whole life. I've had a very nice life and all the rest of it, so I'm not. The money grubbing now, even people I know have become these massive money grubbing pigs. What is that?
I didn't feel like that. Everything changed after COVID.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
No,
A lot of people
there's
got very paranoid and weird.
Yeah, there was a seismic shift in the psyche of
Most of it was
everybody
fake.
after COVID.
I think there's something to be said for that because I've definitely noticed that too, and maybe even noticed it in myself a little bit. I feel like I'm so much more paranoid about money, and I don't know. There's definitely something to that.
But I just don't understand why you harm people you've known your whole life. What is wrong with you? I mean, that's everywhere. I hear from people all the time that's happening to them. It's just disgusting. All of that over money. Once you get off your ass and go make it, how about that? That'd be good.
Easier to steal it.
Yeah, it's easier to steal it, I suppose. And look, this is coming
Way
from a
easier
guy.
to steal it. You're right.
This is coming from a guy who's done very well in life, and all I did is sit down and talk. So I'm not saying I busted my ass to do okay, but I mean, I just the filth right now is way over the top. It's just too bad.
I can't disagree with you on that. That's for sure.
Yeah, what do you?
Have you watched anything good on TV lately?
Started watching Stick. The Stick?
Oh,
That's the golf show, right?
Yes, yep.
Yeah,
yeah,
with
I think it's the stick.
with Owen Wilson.
My buddy told me he really liked it, but he's a
Yep.
golfer.
Yeah, I don't think you have to be a golfer.
No,
it's
no.
it's about a guy who was Owen Wilson plays an ex-golfer that had a huge meltdown on the tour and had to quit because it was so embarrassing, and he lost his psyche about golf. And then he just kind of turned into a loser, and he lost his wife, and he's losing his home, and then he finds this young golfer who's just amazing, like the next Tiger Woods, and he's going to take him on the tour and teach him the ropes. And Owen Wilson is the same guy that he always plays.
He's he's one of those people who just plays himself.
Yeah, he's an
in every movie.
affable,
That's true.
Kind of goofy, but
goofy, funny.
down to earth. Yeah.
Mark Maron is in it, and it's a perfect role for him.
He's really good in it. Yeah,
he's
I agree.
he's very funny
Mark
in it.
Maron.
Yeah,
When's the last time he's been in something?
a while.
He's got the big podcast. He's one of the first big podcasts.
He's
Yeah.
quitting
He was.
his podcast, by the way.
That's what
Did
I've
you see
heard.
that?
Yeah.
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 Well, I
And-
mean, he's only 61.
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah, he's always
He's one of those people. Yeah. One of those people.
He's
Yeah.
always looked older than he actually is. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Very much so.
and it's only like a half-hour show, so it's it's kind of light and happy, and I don't know, it's
What's-
just-
good.
what's that on?
It's good. Oh God, don't
Is
ask
it
us. We've got
Netflix?
45
I think
streaming
it's
services. I
Netflix.
can't.
It's
keep
on
track of
Apple
it.
TV Plus.
Oh, Apple TV Plus. There
Oh,
you
that's
go.
right. yeah.
And Prime Video.
Oh,
on
and
Did you
Prime.
guys
No.
finish that John Hamm show?
Oh, which one is that now?
Oh God.
Friends and Neighbors, or Neighbors and Friends?
Oh, we haven't
or-
finished it.
No, we have not finished it.
Oh my God, it gets like crazy intense. I couldn't believe it gets really dark and
Really?
it's great. It's so good.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good. It leaves me wanting more. It's done, and I'm like, oh my God, I hope they do another season of it.
All right, we'll have to go back to that one. We
Yeah.
started on Mobland.
I need to come to that.
Oh my God.
It's intense.
Yeah, just a little.
It's intense, I would say, but the acting is great. It's actually a really good show if you like mob
Well,
stuff.
One warning I have for you. We watched episode 3 last night. Is that correct?
Of Mobland? Yes, I think so.
Episode 3, and somebody's name came up, and it was at that old. Oh, you won't see him around here anymore. Well, why? What happened to him? He goes over, gets a bag, and pulls a head out of the bag that's been melted in a fire. So not only did they kill him, they burned him at the stake.
Yeah,
It's
there's
like,
a lot
oh
of
my
don't
God.
look at this. Yeah,
Oh, there's a lot of don't
I'm not
look at
watching that.
Yeah, there's a lot
Well,
of
not
don't
a
look at
lot
the
of it,
screen
but
right now.
there's plenty of it.
That sounds great.
It is. You know what, though? The acting in it is really, really good.
It is. It's Helen Mirren and
Mirren's in
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce,
Is that,
Yep, Pierce Brosnan.
yeah, and he's really good in it, which I've never really thought of him as being a really great actor. But he's
Yeah.
he's really good in this.
He
Maybe
was
he's
James
always
Bond.
been a good actor, but I've never been really a Bond person.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you
He's
know that
really good in it.
One of the great things about that show is the toughest, least trustworthy, and most harmful person in it is Helen Mirren.
Yeah. Yeah,
She wants
she's-
everyone dead.
Yeah, she's terrifying.
She's unbelievable.
She's scary.
Yeah, really good. Really,
Let's
really
stay
good
out of
stuff.
her
There's no
way.
question about it.
Good. All right. I'm putting that on the list.
Yeah,
for
you should
sure.
put that on
So-
the list.
Yeah, you should definitely watch that. It's quite TV is, you got to say, it's, you know, it's kind of sad because these new reports came out about radio and how it's just falling apart at the seams, and you know, television's not doing that great anymore. And the thing, Chris, I think we talked about this last week.
We did.
We used to be able to go up, turn on Channel 9, and there were your Minnesota Twins. It was free every night. You watched the Minnesota Twins on Channel 9. How many, was it three
You have
different?
to have 3 different streaming services. If you
Yep.
live in Minnesota and want to watch your home team, you have to have 3 different streaming services.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
because
do.
there's blackout dates,
Yep.
Yep.
and then there's.
So
but-
you have to have Apple Plus TV. Was it for Sunday or Monday night games? And then you have to
yes.
have
Prime.
Fox.
Yeah, Fox. Fox, you got to
Fox
have
for Saturday night
Saturday night,
games.
and then Sunday night
And
is
MLB. Yeah, I think that was Apple Plus.
and then MLB.
Yeah, and then MLB. Just to watch a game, you have to have 3 different streaming services.
Yeah, so, I
it's
mean-
so stupid.
Per television, you have to spend like $500 a year just to watch Twins game.
Well, they justify that by saying, well, if you came to a game, it would cost a lot more.
Yeah.
This way, if you watch all the games, it's really only $15 a game or something. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever.
only $15 a game. Okay.
Who's going to watch every single game anyway?
Not me, believe me.
Nerds. Nerds are going to watch it.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. You got to be a complete nerd, which I was when I was a kid. I love watching my Minnesota Twins. I've always loved them. You know, I was
For
honored one
sure.
day I get to throw out the first pitch. Oh, I'll never forget that though. And I forgot because I was standing on the mound, and I forgot that when you step, your left foot goes about 6 inches or 9 inches lower than your right foot, and I
Yeah.
didn't account for that. I threw out the first pitch. It almost went into the right field dugout.
Yeah, Kent Herbeck didn't give you any crap about that.
Oh no, Herbeck didn't mention that to me at all. No, everything's fine.
That
Don't
was
worry
great.
about it. He literally stared at me like, "What the hell is the
What's
matter
wrong
with
with
you?"
you?
I haven't communicated with him for a while. Have you?
Great guy.
How's he? Because he's sick, right?
Yeah, he wasn't doing well, so I talked to him a
Yeah.
little bit about it. He is
He's
always
doing
been,
all right.
Well, first
Okay.
of all, he and my wife are Bohemian, so there's this big connection there.
Yaxay Mosh.
Bo Hunk's in my life. But I would say this, that those guys, the Gary Gaettis and Kent Herbecks and Tim Laudners of the world, and Roy Smalley's a great guy. Those guys that won 2 World Series were really good people.
That was a,
You know, a couple of
great
nut jobs
team.
on the team, but you know how that goes.
There's always a couple of nut jobs.
Well,
on
there's
every
always a
team.
couple of nut jobs.
That's
very,
what
very
makes
true.
a team such an interesting experiment,
Yeah.
right?
But you
It's
know,
true.
it does upset me in ways when I look back, and there was an article about Kent about 2 weeks ago in the paper. Kent Herbeck, who's about to turn 65. I'm like, what? Kent Herbeck is, I mean, he's always going to be 30 years old to me. You know, what I
know.
mean? 65-year-old Kent Herbeck. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But it's just, that
It was
was
a
one of the
long time ago they won.
That was one of the great honors of my life. He's getting to know all those World Series winning baseball players that I just mentioned. Just really, really good people. Really nice people.
I got good dudes, and Herbeck, like, to me, he tops the list of that. He does. He's a good dude.
I remember one time I had to mic up Gary Gaetti,
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, "Is this man made of bricks?" I was like, there's no give.
I'll give to Gaetti. Oh, I miss Gary. Where does Gary even live now? I don't even know where he lives anymore.
Not
I
sure.
don't know.
Somewhere out there. But yeah, that was one of the great thrills of my life in 87 and 91, knowing all of those players that won 2 World Series and having the fun. And, of course, the edgy Dan Gladden, who always looks pissed off at the world, no matter, it could be the most beautiful sunny day, and he's like,
And he's got resting bitch face.
he does.
Yeah.
He has resting bitch face. That's exactly what he's got, no question about it. All right, any closing words, Mr. Eggert?
Well, it's graduation season right now.
Oh, that's
so
for sure.
is.
Oh yeah, we had
everybody's-
a huge grad party on our block. It was like someone converted their entire driveway into seating, and
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yep.
Our daughters is this weekend.
Ooh,
So,
are you worried?
and-
What school district is she in?
Minnetonka.
Okay. Are they going to go down to the Mariucci Arena?
Well,
again?
they had their graduation last
Oh,
week
oh,
at
that's
US
right.
Bank
Okay.
Stadium,
Okay.
but now's all the parties.
Okay.
And the last 2 weekends, I think we've had like 12 parties to go to each day. And I'm just like hemorrhaging money. I'm just like.
I remember.
Oh, there's a lot of
I
hemorrhaging
gotta
money
say, I
going on.
wasn't sad when we entered the not so many graduations years.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
Yeah.
lot, and it's great because you get to see some. I mean, you guys know how it goes. Like once they're graduate or they're not around that group of people anymore. Some parents who you really got to know pretty well over the years,
Yeah.
you kind of lose contact with
Sure.
them, and so I like going to the parties for the parents I want to see, but you can never really spend enough time with them, and it's exhausting, it's tiring.
Yeah.
It is, no question about it. What are you going to do? So everything else good on your end?
Yeah, everything's good.
Good.
Oh, that sounded convincing.
Yeah,
everything's
everything's good.
I mean,
Eeyore.
Listen,
Yeah, Eeyore. He's kind of like Eeyore there. That's a very good comparison.
I don't know how you guys dealt with the empty nest thing, but I'm already having a hard time with it, and it's not even there yet. But
Well,
I just
our kids were just over in St. Paul.
no, I know, I knew that.
It was a lot different to me. If
But-
they would have left the state, I think I would have
Alright.
definitely had a harder time with it. But because they were a 20-minute drive
Yep,
and they came home a lot,
yep.
I didn't have a chance to miss them.
All right, we'll bring this up now because I know she's getting to it eventually.
Yes, dear.
When both children moved across the Mississippi River to go to college, I got all teary-eyed one night, and
yeah.
Catherine goes, "For Christ's sake, they live about 6 minutes from here." I said, "Yeah, but they're not here. It's a big difference." I'm getting all weepy because they live. Well, it was more than 6 minutes too. It was about 26 minutes.
Well, you had to go from Golden Valley, Minnesota to St. Paul, right at the
maybe it was-
eastern edge.
Yeah. Maybe it
not,
was.
or
I
the
can
western.
do that
western.
drive in about 18 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
just saying.
not bad at
It
all.
But only without traffic.
Yeah.
Yes, without traffic. That was the whole key. There's no
I
question.
don't know. For some reason, I was excited for both of them to go and
Oh, yeah.
do that and have that experience. It
Oh, yeah.
didn't. It didn't make me. Well, like I said, because they were right over in St. Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our youngest one's going out of state, but it's still like a day's drive, so it's fine. I mean, it's fine as these things go, because I know a bunch of people who have their kids. I mean, they're going to like down south and
Yeah.
out to California, and like I can't imagine that. So
Well,
I mean, I definitely realized that it could be worse.
Yeah,
but-
Alex had two roommates. One was from California, and one was from England. So
England,
Yeah.
yeah.
can you imagine if they had gone to another country? That would have been
right.
yeah.
That would have been
That would have
difficult.
been really. I would hated that. Yes.
But on the other hand, you're like, if the kid gets a chance to study abroad or something,
Right.
like don't do it. You're never going because as an adult, you're probably not going to get an opportunity like that
Right.
again because you're going to be married or you're going to have a job or that to have that time to be able to do something like that is,
Yeah, it's absolutely.
No question. Well, we'll look forward to talking to you next week, Pally.
I think I'll be here.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot.
Bye, you guys. Have a good day.
Hi.
Channel 5's Chris Eggert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation to 952-925-5608. We'll be right back. A couple of seconds, wrap things up. I'm talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, business owners have had to deal with a lot over the last few years, haven't they?
They sure have, Tommy. We pride ourselves on being able to help our customers with the challenges they face.
Our business bankers are experts and are always ready to help our customers capitalize on opportunities and solve problems.
Loan decisions come quickly because they're made here in the Twin Cities and not shipped out of state like at some of the national banks in town.
This allows our customers to expand their businesses with confidence, knowing that they have our team of experts in their corner.
Okay, so now you give me this big thing at the end. Way to go.
Well, you are the professional.
Oh, I forgot. Look, I know Brad and Mike, and I trust them with my banking. They've personally delivered on everything they've just said, so why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender. It's Tom for Welshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities. Welshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities are a place where your loved one will live with pride and dignity. If you care deeply about someone in your life, Wellshire is the place I highly recommend. Wellshire is a memory care focused facility that has a full nursing team, always staffed within the building, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have never used or relied on any staffing agencies. Wellshire of Medina is now accepting elderly waivers after 12 months of private pay. I know them personally, and they're a family-owned local company. Great place. Conveniently located right in Medina and Bloomington. They're the best staff memory care facility in the state. Wellshire has a robust community with activities 7 days a week. If your loved one is in need of memory care facility, please get in touch with my friends at Wellshire. Set up a tour or learn more at wellshiremn.com. That's WEALSHIREMN.com. We are back, kind of wrapping things up. Any closing words, folks?
We need to plan a trip to Sioux Falls.
We do.
All right, then.
No, I agree. We should go down to Sioux Falls.
That'd be fun.
I haven't been there in a long time. I used to when I worked at Capitol, it was part of my territory.
Looks like it grew a lot.
Oh, it grew a lot since I've been there. I can guarantee you that. But I
It's
would
like
love to go there.
Fargo. Alex's friend lives in Fargo, and she was talking about how much it's changed since she moved there. It's like, oh, now there's West Fargo, and there's this Fargo.
yeah,
I mean, it's
absolutely.
just sprawling all over the place.
So I lived in Fargo. I think I must have been about 25, maybe something like that.
Well, let's put it this way. Sioux Falls, current population 210,000.
Okay.
In 1990, it was 100,000.
Oh my God!
So
it's 35
it's been
years.
growing about 25% a year for the past century.
That is
shows
a
it's a
lot.
good
Does
place.
it?
It's growing very
Do you know
quickly.
can you find quickly, or is it too hard to find how many Minnesotans have migrated to
lots.
South Dakota in the last 10 years?
I can ask Jeeves and see what it says. Let's see.
Jeeves.
There's no
What does
Ask
Jeeves
Jeeves.
have
I
to
love
anymore.
to ask Jeeves.
Yes, you did.
Well, it's gone now, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know who bought it. Everything turned into something else.
It's true.
I used to have, what was my email that I had forever, and I think Google ended up buying it.
jrdogs@prodigy.net.
Prodigy.
Yep.
Oh, Prodigy.
I
Yeah, there
Prodigy.
you
I
go.
love that.
That was our first family email address, jrdogs@prodigy.net.
I
It's
never ever
long
got
gone.
garbage emails. It was
No, exactly.
great when it was Prodigy.
Yep.
Now it's just everything.
No, it's all garbage.
It's
We
all-
do not know how many Minnesotans live in Sioux Falls.
No, how many have migrated out of Minnesota?
I mean,
Because I
It'd
know
be
that
tough
there
to
are.
find.
I thought the U-Haul maybe was a good source for how many people have rented a one-way U-Haul.
just ask U-Haul and
I don't
see
know.
what they
I
think.
thought there were. I thought there were statistics about that, but
Well,
maybe
in
it's
the
harder to
past
find.
4 years, we've been losing 25,000 people per year
Jesus.
due
Wow.
to net migration. So
Amazing.
that's including births and people migrating here. We're still losing 25,000 a year because
Well,
so
that's-
many people are leaving.
That's one of the reasons why they have been going so hard at trying to get as many migrants in here as they possibly can.
Yeah.
9.5% state
Well-
tax is a little
But
high.
yeah, how about make it more livable?
Did we lose a point for the house?
No, we almost did, but we didn't.
Oh, I'm surprised. I thought we were going to lose a point.
What do you mean for the house?
How many people we get to
Our number of
represent
seats.
our seats.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. I thought you did lose one.
No, we came very, very close, but somehow it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I love Minnesota. People have changed in Minnesota a lot in the last 10, 15 years, though. I will tell you that. Some
Oh, there
great-
you go. We got a listener. Both their kids moved to Sioux Falls.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, my brother, his wife, his daughter, her husband, her 2 kids, and another son of his just moved out to Idaho in the last
Yep.
few years. I guess there's a lot of Idaho and South Dakota, and there's another state that Minnesotans are going to a lot.
Well, Wisconsin even, and they're
And even Wisconsin,
and
yes,
even
you're right.
Wisconsin because they have a lower tax rate.
I don't think they're too far behind us
I
politically.
think it's about politically it's about the same, but I think it's about 5.5% instead of 9.5%.
Well, like I said, if you're going to have huge handout programs, you're going to
Yep.
have high taxes. It's just how it is.
It's altering. A lot of that money gets stolen too, and people don't
Well,
want
yeah,
to admit
we've
that,
had
but it does.
$500 million so far and counting.
Yep.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it. Any closing words?
For those who are still unaware, the Jack's Cafe giveaway is on at Tom Barnard Show this time. I did the tweet this time, and it seems to be going fairly well because that page, despite not being used very much, has quite a few more followers. So, yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so if you're looking for the Jack's Cafe giveaway, at Tom Bernard Show, not at Tom Bernard OG. It is there, and it is pinned.
I pinned one on Dad's today.
Oh, well, you should undo that.
Well, what different? Oh, because then you'd have to look at both.
Yeah, they're overlap. I mean, I
All right,
can do it,
all right, I'll
but-
delete it and then I'll pin
Yeah.
that you need to go to the podcast page.
Yep.
Okay.
Go to the podcast page. Because, yeah, last week we didn't get a whole lot of response. The first couple of weeks we did, like, really good response, but then last week it was barely anything. And then this week...
Memorial weekend, that's why.
Oh, that could be. But this week we're already at double what last week's response was,
there
and
you
we still got 3 days to go. So, I don't know.
Perfect.
Yes.
I'm also thinking of maybe, I don't know how the response would be, doing fewer contests but with bigger prizes. Like instead of $100 a week.
$200.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of $100 a week, it's $200 every 2 weeks, that sort of thing.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Because, like, you know, well, like you've been saying, $100 isn't going to pay for a meal anywhere these days.
That's about right.
It's still a decent amount off your bill, but
yeah.
but it's like, you know, $200 that'll pay for your meal.
Yeah, for two.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
maybe even a drinky poo.
And maybe even a drink. There you go. So I'll have to talk to Bill to see if he's amenable to that. But I don't know if
it's
you
a
like
good
that
idea.
idea or don't like that idea. Why not text us at 612-361-6622 and let me know what you think. Also,
I got to mention one thing before you continue. No. I've been thinking about the old KQ thing we had, $100 an hour just for listening to KQ at work.
Yeah.
I think we might have to do $100 a day just for listening to Tom Bernard Show. That was a huge success.
Anybody out there want to sponsor that?
yeah,
Let us
exactly.
know.
Because the radio station had a little bit more money than our 4-person podcast does.
Don't worry about it.
Our 4-person podcast that runs 1 hour and 15 minutes a day versus radio station.
Owned by a hedge fund.
Well, they were back then,
Yeah, that's
though.
right. All right, that'll do it. You got closing words?
Yes, I just updated the website. It had been.
We're gonna go.
Jude
wants to go.
Jude's out of here. The website had been loading improperly on certain phones. I just updated it, and it should load much better now. So,
Good.
if you have been looking to go to the website, find the merch tab specifically, it'll be a lot more obvious now. Just go there. You'll see it right there.
Okay.
Or if you want to join our chat room, that tab will be available there too. That's the only thing I changed is that little navigation bar. So the live stream and the recent episodes will still be there. You just have to scroll down a little bit to find them.
This dog's harassing me.
Yep, he
Dude.
wants to go. He wants out of here. All right, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.